Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. I am back out here in the park, getting ready to do a live Parks on the Air activation. Some programming notes for this week. I actually have enabled live streaming in. Oh gosh, man, I lost it there. Instagram. So today we are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Rumble, and now Instagram. I've actually got a pretty decent Instagram following, so I wanted to get this in there. Instagram is more of a portrait format versus the widescreen landscaping, but we'll give it a try. If you are watching on Instagram, I see a few people are in the thing here. I'm not sure if the chat will integrate between those through the restream. So if you are interested in getting involved in the chat and everything, there's a QR code up in the corner if you want to capture that, and it'll take you to my webpage, which you can find me on all the different social medias, and YouTube is one of those up there. So that is it. Just running through the chat here. Looks like Cooley's already on board. Jason Lockwood. Looks like a friend's out there. Dave, the Hillbilly Ham, is in the chat already. So not a bad start. It's still pretty early, 9 a.m. Here in the East Coast, 6 a.m. out on the West Coast. Speaking of the West Coast, next week, there's another little programming note. I will be in California, in San Diego. I'm flying out but early in the morning Saturday, and I will be probably on the beach sometime around lunchtime on Saturday. Trying to squeeze in as many POTA activations as I can in San Diego County. I might go up north towards LA. It just depends on the traffic and how bad that is. It's been 30 years since I've lived there, so I'm not sure what the local traffic patterns could be, but I know back then it was absolutely horrible. Jason, I am going to start off on 40 meters just because they're here on the East Coast, and we'll probably switch over to 20. A lot of it just really depends on the band. I was looking at the MUF map, the maximum usable frequency, and for this portion of the United States, we're going to be in the 20 meter band is probably the maximum. The downfall is obviously most of the West Coast isn't quite awake yet. So, and it excludes a lot of people that are close by. Yeah, so I'll be out there. I'm going to try to do as many POTA activations as I can on Saturday and Sunday, and then I've got conference starting Sunday afternoon through Thursday. So it'll be a fun trip. I used to live there. I was stationed in San Diego when I was in the Navy, and it's going to be uh, fun, I guess. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of been I've been wanting to get back to San Diego to kind of uh, just kind of revisit some old haunts and everything like that. Uh, one of those, obviously, I was 20, 21, 22, 23, uh, time of my life right there, late teens, early 20s when I lived there. Tijuana was a big part of that before I turned 21, and I kind of always wanted to go back. My wife said no, absolutely not. And not actually from the Tijuana, the bar scene or anything like that. I'm well beyond that, but I did want to go down and do some POTA hunting and everything. But looking at the map, it looks as if there's not any close parks to Tijuana proper. I'm not going to drive down there, but to cross over the border and to try to go somewhere and set up in the park is one. Secondly, I guess I've heard that they're not honoring reciprocal agreements right now, for operating in there. So I would need to get some form of a uh, local license to be able to transmit inside of Mexico proper, but not a big deal. I don't often get an opportunity here in Indiana to work very many stations from Mexico, so I'm hoping that being a little bit closer uh, to the border will give me that option. And then also one of the things I want to do is get an opportunity to work uh, Hawaii a little bit more consistently. Hawaii, if you followed along with my saga, working Hawaii from Indiana, we are either the signals go over us or they fall short. So here in central Indiana, it's just kind of the oddball, especially when you're trying to uh, try to get a park activation, right? So you're trying to connect to somebody in a park, like I am right now in Hawaii. They're operating at generally at best 100 watts, but could be less. So I I suppose somebody would could drag an amplifier out there. I mean, we know Josh did it. Uh, he took an amplifier with him. I think Mike did it also, but that's not that's a rarity, right? That was more for a video than it was actual operating. But you know what? I wouldn't put past people to do that. So um, that's nice thing about doing the park activations. You get back to just basically 100 watts in a wire and go have fun. So speaking of having fun, let's go ahead and start getting some of our equipment in. Um, Jason, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Now, I do want to preface this. I am going to be doing on air stuff, which is non pecuniary interest. I am not soliciting super chats or anything like that. Any money that I make from my channel in general goes back into the channel. This is a side hustle for me. It's an educational thing where my focus is to teach people about amateur radio and electronics and the benefits of learning this stuff, where it can also help you both professionally and um, uh, personally, right? And being able to do those things. I kind of joke around. I watched this cool video, somebody talking about Gen X. I'm the last of the Gen X, but the thing that with all the things at Gen X, but the thing that we uh, also had to do, we were the last people that uh, had to fix things. Right nowadays, something breaks, you go down to the store, you buy a new one. Um, when I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, if something broke, if your TV broke, man, you were SOL until Dad figured out how to fix it or took it somewhere to get it done. And you waited, you had to wait. And that is what kind of sparked my interest in tinkering and stuff. And um, we're some of my friends, they kind of navigated to or migrated to, um, you know, fixing motors and working on cars and automotive and construction and stuff like that. My interest really was around electronics, and I pursued a career in it through the Navy, and it's done very well. I've migrated into amateur radio, or not. I'm sorry, into information technology, um, but uh, all the principles, everything that I learned from that, I use every day. The troubleshooting is probably the biggest one. People, unfortunately, sometimes do not know how to troubleshoot, and this is kind of that area where amateur radio comes into it because it's an activity. It's something you can put your hands on, and also from that standpoint of um, it's great. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, and we'll probably be promoting it again over the summer here, is the Teachers Institute through the ARRL. Steve Goodgame does a great job with that, and the whole focus of that program is teaching teachers um, amateur radio and using amateur radio in their STEM programs. And it's not to create a bunch of youth ham radio operators, although that would be a great side effect. It's really just all the principles, everything you can learn from the hobby of amateur radio that you can then translate into day-to-day stuff and problem solving and everything. The stuff that we're kind of lacking in today's society because we've gone so far as to basically just turn everything over to Hey Google, and that's great. And you can use Google to get a lot of that information. It's a great resource, but more and more people are leaning to that, and they don't even know how to frame the problem to start asking the right questions. It's kind of critical thinking, and we see critical thinking in all aspects of our life, and we're seeing in all aspects of our life that critical thinking skills are uh, dwindling, and it's just basically whatever the box tells them, tells people, that's what they go with, but they don't have the skills to wrap their self around those answers and evaluate them and ensure that they're even good. So there's a whole bunch of aspects of the amateur radio that um, I really enjoy. So somebody mentioned up here, going back up in the chat, um, asking if I was going to be out in there for work or business. Or pleasure. I'm a little bit of both. I am attending a conference. It's a professional conference that I'm going to that's being hosted in San Diego this year. So that's the focus of me going out there. Everything else is going to be um, kind of personal. I'll have the evenings and everything. So Saturday and Sunday I will be out. I'm going to rent a Jeep actually, so I can take off and get out into some of the areas that I used to stomp around and everything. I'd also like to do a soda summit somewhere. I don't know. There's I have to start digging into that a little bit more this week. That's kind of on my agenda, is to lay that out. I am going with a coworker, and he's going to tag along with me to do this stuff. He's not into amateur radio, but but he is a coworker, and I'm sure he'll have fun going out and just doing outdoor things while we're there. Um, Dave also says Tijuana is not what it was 30 plus years ago. I would agree. But my wife was like, "You're not going down there. It's not safe." I'm like, I don't know how much time I've spent crossing that border inebriated. So I'm not overly worried about it. But I was also in the Navy, right? So we spent most of our time going into bad areas, anyways, around the world. So I'm not too overly um, worried about that. Uh, And Hank says, no longer being taught, just force-fed information. And I agree. That's where I really, really enjoy amateur radio and getting out there and just doing this. So, all right, let's get on the air and get started here. Start bringing in some stuff. So, let me preemptively swing out to the antenna cam. So right now, if you're following along and not sure what we're doing here, I am an amateur radio operator, and today, unfortunately, I'm still working or doing this inside the truck. The goal is to be outdoors with this thing and outside the vehicle. It's still a little wet outside, and it was under 50 degrees this morning, about 10 degrees Celsius. So I am going to still be doing this, but I did do an activation last night from the tailgate of the Bronco and had a blast. Actually, I did a lot of stuff on AM too, and made seven AM contacts. So my goal this summer is to try to work as much AM as I can, in addition to sideband and other digital modes while I'm out here in the park. Yeah, Jason, the bands do kind of stink right now, but we'll work that out. And good morning. Hank says all I'll hear is noise. That's okay. We'll figure it out. All right, so I am set up on 7226 at the moment, but you need to check to make sure the frequency is clear. Is this frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Is this frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Yeah, so far sounds good. So we got some U.S. operators on 20 meters or 40 meters. So we'll just go ahead and go with this. Is this frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 102. Check that. US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 10. Check that, US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by. All right, just popped up on the spotting page here, so let's see what happens. CQ parks on the air, CQ parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by. Station ending in Tango Papa.
Kilo 7 Romeo Tango Papa.
Kilo 7 Romeo Tango Papa. Robert, good morning. About a 5-1-51 in the park.
Again, the noise level came way up on your last.
You're 5-1-51 in the park. Kilo 7 Romeo Tango Papa. Robert, good morning. 5-1 from the park.
USL, was that a 5-1 over?
51.
Roger. You're a 5-1, 5-7, maybe 5-1 from Northeast Tennessee.
All right, I copied the 5-5 from Tennessee, my friend. Have a great morning at 73. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ.
Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike.
Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. Bill, good morning. 5-5.
Roger, Tim. You're 5-1 into Wisconsin.
All right, thank you for the 5-1 into Wisconsin, my friend. Have a great day today in 73.
73, have fun.
All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Echo 6 Golf Alpha Echo.
Kilo Echo 6 Golf Alpha Echo. Dave, good morning. 5-9, my friend.
Hey, good morning, Tim. Yeah, it's a little rough this morning. I got you at about a 4-4 here in Missouri this morning.
All right, I copied the 4-4, my friend. I know you're in the live stream chat, so about 23 minutes if you want to hear yourself on the radio.
Yeah, it's good. I'll still give you a 4-4, but it's getting rough. My noise floor just came up big time. So hopefully you're hearing me, Tim, and we can log the contact. I'll appreciate you being out there activating. We'll say 73.
All right, 73, my friend. Have a great day today. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ parks on the air. CQ parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Bravo.
Kilo Bravo station.
Kilo Bravo 9 Lima Queen Alpha.
Kilo Bravo 9 Lima Queen Alpha. Christopher, good morning. 5-9 plus.
Good morning. Thank you very much. You're about 5-5 here. 55. I'm located in Wisconsin.
All right. Thank you from the 5. Thank you for the 5-5 from Wisconsin, my friend. Have a great day today in 73.
73s and good luck.
All right. Thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ parks on the air. CQ parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ, parks on the air and standing by.
Whiskey 5 Sierra Quebec Kilowatt.
The Whiskey 5 station?
Yep, Whiskey 5 Sierra Quebec Kilowatt again. Whiskey 5 Sierra
Quebec, Kilowatt. You're about 5'7" here in Arkansas, just outside of Little Rock. Back to you.
I'm sorry, Whiskey 5 Sierra Station. I had a problem there.
Yep, Whiskey 5 Sierra, Quebec, Kilowatt. Sierra, Quebec, Kilowatt. QSL?
All right, Alan, sorry about that. Whiskey 5 Sierra, Quebec, Kilowatt. Got you in the log. You're 5'9" plus.
Roger. Yeah, decent signal this morning. The band has not been in great shape, but no problem copying. Again, about a 5'7", maybe peaking just a bit more occasionally there. November Whiskey 9, Foxtrot, W5S2K.
Yeah, Roger, my friend. I got you logged at 5'7" there. Yeah, sorry about the call sign. The Quebec and Kilowatt. It was throwing me for a loop there.
Yep, it will twist your tongue for sure, but I like it, so I kept it. It was the back end of my original call, and I did a vanity call and just put a whiskey in front of the 5. So anyway, man, you have a great day out there. I'm going to go do some bike riding and come back and then go to the shop and do some welding. So I've got a busy Sunday, man, but a lot of fun. November Whiskey 9, Foxtrot, W5SBK. Bye-bye now.
All right, Alan. Hey, have a great day today, and we will hopefully catch you down the log. 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 102. Check that. US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo Whiskey. Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo Whiskey from November 3 Golf Hotel.
Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo Whiskey. Good morning, 5'9". Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo Whiskey 5'9".
Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo Whiskey. Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo Whiskey from November 3 Golf Hotel.
November 3 Golf Hotel.
November 3 Golf Hotel and 3TH. November 3 Golf Hotel and 3TH. Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo.
Oh, it sounds like somebody.
Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo Whiskey. Whiskey 2 Alpha Echo Whiskey from November 3 Golf Hotel.
November 3 Golf Hotel. November 3 Golf Hotel. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA. CQ POTA. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. So this is one of the downfalls, is that sometimes people don't hear you. Possibly here. When you get a pile up, it's a little bit easier, but most people will be able to hear somebody on the frequency. CQ POTA, CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Yeah, I hear you. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and bounce. I'm going to mark QRT and clear the frequency. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot clearing frequency. And while we're here on 40 meters, let's kind of bounce through and see what we got. 7178. November Delta 4 Yankee, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Yeah. So 188 doesn't seem to be
Foxtrot got you about a 5-2 into Park US 11967, Potterville, Michigan. Thank you for Papa Alpha and have a great day. This is November 8, Charlie.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, Park to Park.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot 59 into Park US 11967, Potterville, Michigan.
QSL, you are 59 plus also into Park US 4215.
QSL 4215, what state?
I'm in Indiana.
QSL on Indiana. Appreciate it and have a great day. This is November 8, Charlie.
All right.
Kilo Delta 2, Yankee Lima Zulu. Kilo Delta 2, Yankee Lima Zulu.
All right, so let's switch over to probably 20 meters, I guess. We'll give that a try.
Okay, 59 both ways. On top of your part 11967, my part US 2001 Northern New York. New York, thank you for that and good luck on your activation today, 73. This is November 8, Charlie. Kilo Quebec 4.
Oh, you know what? I thought that looked
Kilo
weird.
4, try again.
Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Quebec.
Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Quebec. Got you at about a 5-4 into Park US 11967, Potterville, Michigan.
There we go.
I review about the same, 5-4 in northern
Got that
Georgia.
fixed. All right.
Thank you for Georgia and have a great day. This is November 8, Charlie. Kilo Bravo 9, Lima Queen Alpha. Ending in Queen Alpha.
So there is some
Nothing
there's
heard.
some
CQ, November
European
8, Charlie.
EU stations on the air. Well, yeah, European Union. So we'll bounce over there and then try to find a frequency that we can use.
CQ POTA, November 8, Charlie. I'm calling CQ POTA, November 8, Charlie. That's our US 167. Kilo Delta 4, Whiskey, India.
Sounds like the band might have gotten a little bit better there. Everybody was sounded pretty good, but somebody commented up here earlier. So one of the things that let me swing back to one of the things that I'm going to say, if the weatherman tells you it's going to be raining outside and it doesn't rain, or it does rain, and not knocking Dr. T there, I nothing beats just getting out and doing it. And you know, sometimes it appears that the bands are dead because nobody's out there because everybody's watching the space weather forecast. And but you never know. You never know what you're going to hear. It's not an exact science. It is like the weather. I mean, they can kind of predict it and know where it's going to go to a certain degree. But the reality is that it's a science. It's a force of nature that we can't control. And so, you know, 1 minute it could be there and you could have an open band and you never know who you're going to talk to. And the next minute you can't talk across the street. And that's a reality for this every day of the week. Um, you know, our atmosphere is predictable, but it's not an exact science. So I would say that I wouldn't um, plan accordingly, but I wouldn't not try to get on the air and try to do something um, just because the bands are in a so-so condition. Um, I would also say that, you know, a lot of this is what you make of it. It's about opportunity, and if you're not on the air, you're not going to have the opportunity. Um, you know, I work from home personally, so I've got my radio up, and you know, a good indicator. A lot of people will say this is kind of just dialing into the FT8 frequency on the band and listening. You know, that's a consistent. Everywhere else in the band is, you know, somebody's picking it, but the FT8 is consistent and around the clock. So you can use that as a good judge of where at least the ballpark of that band is in, and have fun with it. But don't hesitate to get out and at least try it. If anything, listen. You know, you may not want to sit here and call CQ for 30 minutes, but once again, if you're not calling CQ, nobody knows you're there. So that's just my 2 cents. All right, let's see what we can find on 20 meters here. I'm just going to go up to the top of the list.
20 meter.
Victor Charlie 9 Delta Tango.
Victor Charlie 9 Delta Tango. Throw portable.
CQ special event from Victor Charlie 9 Delta Tango. Victor Charlie 9 Delta Tango. Special event station.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot 5 and 9.
QSL, you are 5-9 also from US Park 4215.
Thank you. 7-3. Good luck.
All right.
9 Foxtrot. Victor Charlie 9 Delta Tango. Victor Charlie 9 Delta Tango. Throw portable. CQ 20 meters. CQ 20 meters from Victor Charlie 9 Delta Tango. Throw portable. Victor Charlie 9 Delta Tango.
So I thought that was Victor. That's I guess a special event station, but it's also Stewart. Victor, I think Victor 9 Charlie Foxtrot. I thought the voice sounded familiar. All right, got that one in the air. All right, let's keep going down the list here.
Delta Tango.
220.
Kilo Quebec 4 November Delta November.
November 4 Romeo Delta Juliet.
Yeah, 265. $73. 310. $17.
Kilo 9 India Charlie Papa. India Charlie Papa.
Well, the mount actually sounds pretty good. I'm just going to find a spot. Use the frequency in use. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Use the frequency in use. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 1. Check that US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
59, Fox Hotel Charlie.
Whiskey 9 Fox Hotel Charlie. Good morning, 55. I think you said 57 QSL. All right, Steve, thank you for the contact. Appreciate it. Have a great evening or a great day in 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Delta Mike.
Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Delta Mike. Good morning, 55.
Yeah, Roger, I'm getting you about a 5.
Here, Whiskey 9 Fox 1025. Check that. US 4215. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Well, I'm having a hard time with that the park number here. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo November 4, Mike Yankee Zulu.
Kilo November 4, Mike Yankee Zulu. Cyril, good morning, 59.
You just faded away, but I had you about a 3-3 until you faded out. Over.
Hey, good morning, Cyril. I copied the 3333 from Florida. You are a 5-9 in the park today, sir. Kilo November 4, Mike Yankee Zulu. I copied the 33. You're 5-9, 59 from the park. All right, I'm going to go ahead and strike that one since we didn't have a full back-to-back there. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Got a Kilo Charlie station. You're really in faint there. Give it a try again.
Kilo Charlie 3, Charlie India Lima. Kilo Charlie 3, Charlie India Lima. UIP.
Kilo Charlie 3, Charlie India Lima. Kurt, good morning. You're about a 4-5, 4-5. All right, I copied the 5-5 from Rhode Island, my friend. Thank you for the contact. Have a great day today in 73. All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. And Dave, you're right. Sometimes they can be up and down, and like I said, 1 minute they're there, and if you're not out there, you're going to miss it. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Hey, Tim, are you coming back to me? November 3, Foxtrot, Mike Charlie.
Hey, Jeff, good morning. You are 5-9 plus today.
Hey, Roger, got you 5-2, 52 into Papa Alpha this morning. Thank you.
All righty, thank you. Have a great day today in 73, my friend.
7-3, Tim.
All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Good morning, James. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo 7, Sierra, Echo November.
The Kilo 7 station?
Kilo 7, Sierra, Echo November.
Kilo 7, Sierra, Echo November. Neil, good morning. Great signal, 5-9.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, you're better than 5 and 7, Arizona. I got a lot of noise this morning for some reason. Appreciate the activation, Tim. 73. Have a great time.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day today in 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Whiskey 1 Zulu November Delta.
Whiskey 1 Zulu November Delta. Stephen, good morning, 5-9 plus.
Roger, I can barely hear you. I have you about a 3-2 in Massachusetts. You didn't sound busy, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Over.
All righty, thank you. I copied the 3-2 from Massachusetts, my friend. Have a great day today in 73.
Thanks very much. Have a good one.
All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ.
Kilo Alpha 4, Kilo Oscar Echo, portable.
Kilo Alpha 4, Kilo Oscar Alpha Echo. God darn it, Phil. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine, man. I'm in the laundry room again at the in-laws. Are you doing all right?
Doing good, my friend. I'm actually live streaming right now. About 52 minutes in it if you want to hear yourself over the air.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I came in the laundry room where the radio's at. I saw you live streaming. I'm going to be breaking down here in a bit and going home. Have a good day. Have fun. You're 5-7 in Georgia.
All right, thanks to 5-7 into Georgia. Have a great day today in 73. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ.
Kilo November 4 Mike Yankee Zulu.
Kilo November 4 Mike Yankee Zulu's Cyril 5-9.
I've got you about 4-4 here in North Florida this morning.
All right, sounds good, my friend. Thank you for the 4-4. Have a great day today in 73.
Thanks for picking me up, 73.
All righty, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Echo 9, Charlie Alpha Zulu.
Station ending in Alpha Zulu.
Kilo Echo 9,
Was that Kilo Echo 9 Sierra Alpha Zulu? All right, I got the Alpha Zulu part. Can you give me the first letter right after the number again? Say it a couple times. All right, I'm not able to hear you. You're right in the noise floor there, but I appreciate the contact. Have a great day today in 73. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. All right, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot going QRT. Let's just wrap it up here. It's actually, I just noticed it's about 5 minutes till 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Big Jim and T.O. are going to be live streaming here in about 5 minutes. ham church, I think is what they call it. And somebody said this was like Sunday school, which I'll take that. I can do that. So just to zip through the breakdown here. So as we had talked about earlier today, you're never going to know. The bands could be good, they could be bad, and you're not going to know until you try it. So not the best activation, I will say that, but I will also say, because I know a lot of people get kind of hung up on that whole failed activation, kind of thing. And I would say, don't sweat it. When you're out here having fun and doing this, you are enjoying your hobby, and that's what really matters. I know a lot of people have gotten kind of that mindset of sports has gotten into it, and like golf, just go throw some more money at it, you'll do better. And that's not the case. This is a skill like anything else, and it's a hobby, and it can be a lot of fun. And sometimes you'll have moments where it doesn't, doesn't pan out the way you want it. But looking at today's thing, we on air for about 31 minutes, made 15 QSOs across 2 different bands, 6 on 40 meters and 9 on 20 meters. Made contacts in 12 of the 50 U.S. states and 1 Canadian province. I think I've mentioned this. I kind of wish maybe Sebastian, if you're watching, add it in where you can, like the states here, you can also list the provinces. And that might be a feature if you're a Canadian operator and you got a Canadian call sign in here. I don't know that, but if you don't, there we go. Right now, I am at the Morgan Monroe State Forest. So here in southern or south central Indiana. So that is the breakdown. If we look at the map here, let me kind of do it. So even with the cruddy bands, all the way from Phoenix, Arizona up to New Brunswick is where the things are. Now I'm going to say that this says New Brunswick. A lot of it depends on it's where the call sign is registered, the grid square that is attached to that. So theoretically, when I am next week, when I'm out in San Diego, my call sign is attached to my address here in Indiana, but I'll be in California. So somebody making a contact with me from like maybe Nebraska, for example, might look like we're on this map in Indiana, but I'll be out west. So not bad. Like I said, good mix of 20 and 40 meters. The bands will always be up and down. So that is that in a nutshell. Yeah. Hey, good morning. Yeah. Gosh, I forgot your name, Rob, and I apologize for that. But got a chance to meet up with Amateur Hour there. He actually won a copy of Salty Walt's book on the Ham Radio Kids Table, which is a weekly live stream podcast that we do with a group of us, where we get out and we talk about the other side of amateur radio that's not your grandpa stuff. And so got a chance to meet up with him in there, got him the book, and went ahead and just waited to do that so he could meet up with Walt and get Walt to sign it. So that was cool and everything. But if you've got questions on Polo or whatever, reach out to me and let me know. I enjoy using it. Let's go ahead and kill some of this excess stuff here. But looks like it is 10 o'clock now. So I am going to go ahead and get wrapped up here. I said Tio and Big Jim are live streaming right now. So let's go ahead and I'll just get a link to that in the chat later. And hopefully that gets picked up on all the, looks like that's going out on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know where it's going, but go check those guys out. They're always fun. And we will talk to everybody later. Have a great day today, and enjoy the weekend and or what's left of it, and have a great day, great week going forward. And until we get an opportunity to meet again, 73.